right, we're joined on the dais by Florida Atlantic head coach Dusty May and Vlad Goldin. Coach, before we go into questions, could you give us some thoughts about tonight's game?
Yeah, first of all, hats off to Temple. They played with great physicality. They were very determined. They were together, and they made some big-time plays. And there's a reason they'll be playing tomorrow, because they've came out here and played really, really well for 4 games in 4 days. So I wish we had a little more time, but like I said, hats off to Temple.
All right, we'll start with questions in the room. Please raise your hand and we'll get a microphone to you if you have a question. Right there on the left.
Coach, so it's known that in those last late type of possessions there, you don't usually call a timeout. But in this scenario, is there any wish in your mind that you would have, considering Vlad was off the court there in that last moment?
Yeah, it was a lot like at UAB, where the plan is to call a timeout, and then you see Nelly find a crease, and he's so good getting to the rim. In my mind, I thought they would leave B-low, and he would get a tip in. Obviously, yeah, in hindsight, I wish Vlad would have been in the game, but I wish we had a lot of possessions back.
And then to follow up, so the play there was to B-low, and so it wasn't for
No, it was to Nelly in open court to try to get to the rim.
Okay.
And if he got stopped, then we were going to call a timeout and run a side out.
Were you surprised at all that John L. didn't go up on that first take there and pass it off to B-low?
Yeah, I trust these guys, man. Everyone in our locker room, we have a high level of trust and respect for, and we got to the rim down 1, and it's one possession in a 80 possession game.
Anybody else in here with a question? All right, we'll go to Zoom.
Okay, we'll go on the Zoom to Jim Saturday, please. Jim, just unmute and go ahead with your question.
Hi, Coach. A lot of people will talk about the 7-point play as a turning point in the game. In your mind, does it go beyond that? Anything prior to that kind of set the stage for it, or was that crucial in your mind?
It was obviously crucial, that point in the game, to have 7 points in one possession. And not only that, but it gives them momentum. But when we don't shoot well, and I thought we had a lot of really good looks against the zone. Maybe they're out of rhythm, I'm not sure. But when we don't shoot well, and then our defense is I don't want to say soft, but it needed to be much, much more physical. And we give up the percentage we did from 3. It's not a recipe for success. So, we got to clean some things up. But we knew coming into it, Temple has really, really good players, and they have guards. They have the Philly-type guards that they're banging in step backs. We tried several different coverages. In hindsight, probably should have gotten ultra-aggressive a little earlier than we did the last 5 to 8 minutes. But we tried a lot in the second half, and they made plays.
Right in the front row here.
Coach May, you played this Temple team a few weeks ago in the middle of January in Florida. Just kind of take me through what you saw differently from this Temple team here in the tournament.
They just played better longer. They hung around in the first half when things weren't going great for them, much like last night against Charlotte. And then the second half, they knocked down a few, and when their centers make a few threes, then defenses have a tendency to overreact at times, and then their guards were able to get to their spots, step backs, shoot from deep. They played really, really well, and they made big plays.
Over there on the left and front row.
Coach, the offense got a little one-dimensional at times tonight. How do you guys look to try to ignite that in games going forward? God willing, there are any more.
What do you mean one-dimensional?
In the first half, 1 of 8 from 3, and then that continued a little bit into the second half. I don't know the exact stats to start the second half. 3 for 7. 3 for 7 final from 17.
Yep, 3 for 7 total. Yeah, like I said, when they're in the zone, towards the end of the game, we're able to get it to the elbows and get some high lows, but it's tough to not shoot threes when they're packing in and almost daring you. I believe in our guys. Obviously, I wish we had a couple of those back. But if we go an entire game and we shoot that poorly and we get 2 offensive rebounds, not one player on our team got an offensive rebound. I thought they played with great physicality. I thought we just, we weren't quite as, determined as they were.
front row.
Vlad, you got a lot of looks in that first half, converted on a bunch of them. Take me through what you saw out there from the Temple defense and the looks that you were able to get in close.
Can you say again what you're asking, please?
Just I guess evaluate how Temple was defending you around the rim tonight.
They were doubling sometimes. I try to shoot as quick as I can, so not face double and don't shoot over two people. But my goal was just to get as deep position as I can and just shoot hooks and layups and floaters.
Right
Vlad,
here.
did you feel like that contact on the Picarelli shot was just kind of incidental, or?
I mean, they were playing physical, and that's what you expect to, like, during the tournaments when it's once everything was on a line. That's how you expect to play. So I wasn't shocked. I knew it's going to be a physical game. That's how it was. So.
Okay, but on the three-pointer where you got called, like it was that little poke.
I didn't mean to touch him. I was trying to raise my hand, and then I was like, I didn't pay attention at him. I didn't mean to.
Chuck, we have Zoom.
Sure. We can go to Tim Reynolds, please.
Dusty, I know it's a process after a win or a loss. You go through the tape and then you clean up what you have to clean up. Does that process change now, at whether you win a conference tournament or lose? Is this one just better off forgotten and you just move into what's coming Thursday or Friday?
Well, we'll have a little bit of time before we know our opponent. So I guess the answer is no. Every game, every practice, we want to critique ourselves. We want to find ways for us to be better. And so no, we'll learn something from this game. We'll try to grow and improve and be better this week when we're able to play again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go next to Richard Pereira, please.
Hey, Coach. Obviously, tough loss tonight. Regarding Hydra Miller, who had 21 points, including 5 3-pointers, was obviously frustrating. Can you evaluate how you were trying to approach guarding him throughout the game?
Yeah, we tried several different ball screen coverages. He commands the game, just like he did last night, and he has much of the season. We trapped him late. He got it out of his hands. I thought that was probably the most effective, but also it was when our defensive energy and intensity was increased as well. Like I said, if I had to do all over again, if we could rewind it, we would have started trapping him more aggressively earlier, but we also didn't have the energy we needed throughout, and so it's tough to get a really good player stopped when he's capable of doing it off the bounce, off the catch, and with the range he's able to do it. And like I said, he made plays. What a performance by those guys.
Take the last one from Jim Saturday, please.
And actually, a couple quick ones. First of all, what's the next 24 hours going to be for you in terms of? I know you got to travel back and whatnot, but how will the team be spending their day as you build up to the selection announcement?
We're not sure yet. We'll try to find earlier flight home, and then get back and rest and regroup, and then not forget that a lot of work, blood, sweat, and tears have put us in position to still be playing, and it's an honor, and this group is special, and so we have another opportunity to compete for a championship. And when I think every single team in the country starts their season, and usually the season starts almost as if as soon as the other one ends, then your goal is to make the NCAA tournament. There's 360 some teams now, 68 get in, and so we're confident that we're going to be one of those teams that have a chance to compete for the biggest championship in our game, in our sport, in college basketball.
And secondly, please, earlier, just a few minutes ago, Coach Allen talked about his team being, loose and locked. They're kind of a team that's basically enjoying the ride, discovering how good they can become. Is that a trait that you kind of recognized from your team last year at the same time?
I think their journey is much different than ours. I just think 1 through 14, the teams in our league are all capable of winning this tournament. I thought Wichita State had a really good team and just didn't find ways to win close games. A lot of these games come down, 1 or 2 possessions, and Temple was in a lot of those as well this year where they played teams tough, and it comes down to, just like our game yesterday, it came down to a couple possessions, and we found a way to win. The records, the standings can look a lot different when there's this much parity. And so, no, did the staff overlook? Absolutely not. We respect their team, their program, everything about them, their staff. And so we knew it was going to be a tough game. And there's a reason they've been able to beat 4 of us is because they're good.
No, I'm sorry if I didn't convey my question correctly. Just the looseness that they're playing with and the fun that they're having at this time of the year, that seemed to characterize your team last year. Every game was a new discovery of how good you can become, and they seem to be experiencing that right now.
I misunderstood, Jim. I'm sorry. Yeah, it looked like us in the NCAA tournament where we were just consumed with finding a way to win. I thought they looked like that the last couple of days.
Thank you.
All right, Coach. Vlad, thanks very much.
Thank you. Thanks.